Have you ever hopped in the car and headed off to the shops, only to end up at the gym or a friend's house or somewhere else you go regularly? This is a perfect example of automaticity, or as we often call it, autopilot. Our ability to get so good at a certain skill, but we can perform it without almost any conscious attention. This ability arises from having a sophisticated mental representation of the skill. That is, once you're an expert in something, your brain has made such strong pathways that it can carry out the task automatically.
Oh, finally at work. Alright. Oh my god, I forgot to take you to school!
Most of us have a number of skills that we can perform automatically, such as playing a sport, musical instrument or video game, cooking, typing or riding a bike. But it's hard to remember how we went from the confused, struggling novice to the autonomous, easygoing expert. The trajectory from novice to expert is described in a well-accepted theory by Fitz and Posner, who identified 3 stages of skill development.
The first stage is the cognitive stage. This is where everything starts. In this stage, the task feels incredibly effortful, as we struggle to consciously go through each component of the task and make a lot of errors. During the cognitive stage, we develop declarative knowledge, an explicit set of facts and problem-solving operations to complete parts of the skill. This is a frustratingly slow and difficult process, but it is essential to develop this declarative knowledge to improve your expertise.
The second stage is the associative stage. Things finally start to become a little easier. Here we begin to strengthen connections between the task elements and refine our initial understanding. This process is known as proceduralization. That is, the conversion of declarative knowledge into procedural knowledge. Procedural knowledge, therefore, is the knowledge of how to do things that operates on a more inarticulable physical level.
The final stage is the autonomous stage. Here is where we become experts. We are able to perform our skill even faster than before and make very few errors. Once we have reached the autonomous stage, we can perform the task without engaging much of our attentional resources. This means that we are often able to perform another task simultaneously. In fact, a popular measure of whether or not someone has acquired automaticity is a dual task paradigm.
Rowan McKenna conducted a study on tennis players, asking them to participate in a rally task whilst also generating a stream of random letters.
They found that tennis players were much better than the novices at performing both tasks, and that the expert's performance on the rally task was less affected by the second task.
This shows that experts had automated aspects of their tennis skill, which enabled them to cope with the cognitive load of both tasks.
So does this mean that when we perform an autonomous skill that we don't have to think?
Not necessarily. So a study by Morgan and Pollock found that expert marathon runners were continually monitoring their running technique and their physiological state while running. But on the other hand, novice runners will be thinking about other things, trying to avoid thinking about the pain they're experiencing while they're running their marathon. It's the same with chess players. Erickson and Leland found that expert chess players had a much better memory for the layout of the pieces on the board. And when they got a sort of shock memory test out of nowhere, the experts were much more capable of recalling these details, even if they hadn't been consciously thinking about it.
Yeah, so this evidence suggests that thinking does occur when we're performing autonomous skills. And it may be that this thinking can occur because the skills are autonomous.
Yeah, kind of like thinking over and above the autonomous skill.
So automaticity seems to be where you want to be with these skills. So how do you progress through these 2 stages?
Well, automaticity really just comes with practice. As the age-old saying goes, practice makes perfect. But as to those specific practice strategies, we'll leave that up to our fellow 4191 students.